Alright, welcome back. This is going to be the episode of the Ranger Epic where I do the Swiftwind turn-in. So thank you so much, Darkwall, for logging on to the porters. Gave him a bunch of spell mats to MR Taxi, and we'll do this. So I'll pick up when I get to Eridan. Alright, welcome back. In Eridan Palace. So I need to go down a level in Eridan Palace. And if I remember correctly, where are ya? I think it's... no, it's not that one. Nope. Nope. This one. And need to talk to Mary Silent Tone. No dialogue. Let me see if there's anything you can say to her. Okay, so I'm going to give her the Soulbound Hammer. And she gives the Dwarf Smith's Hammer. And let me, now I got a camp to do the MQ. So while I'm doing that, let me read the dialogue. So, the dialogue is as follows. So you asked her, what ancient hammer? Yes, the ancient hammer. I heard something about that. Do you mind if I take a look at it? You give her the hammer. She makes a few marks in the hammer, and all the while you can hear muffled cursing coming from the hammerhead. Yes, it is an ancient dwarf's hammer. Interesting artifact. I've marked it to keep it stable while you retrieve something for me. You'll need to travel the plane of sky and find a swirling sphere of color. Bring it and the hammer back to me. So what I'm doing on Aeonic is I'm going to turn in the swirling sphere. Sorry I'm not showing this part. I'm going to leave a link in the description as to where you can get that. It's off of Island 4. It's a common drop off the Pegasus mobs. So I'll be right back when I log on. Alright, so the lore of the hammer is that Kinlo Strongarm guy in Kaladin. He looks at the hammer, but he notices how there's still a owner inside of it. There's still a person's soul inside. Don't know how to get him out, so that's why you go off here to talk to her. So let's give her the hammer back. And that's the MQ, Hammer of the Ancients. Okay, and now what she says is, she holds the sphere, makes intricate marks and patterns on it, eventually turning the entire crystal clear. She rolls it across the hammer, raising a ringing sound in the room. There, now take the hammer back to Kinlo. He'll know what to do from it. What to do with it from here. So, I'm going to pick up back when I get to Kaladin. And I'd like to say thank you, by the way. Thank you, by the way, to Darkwall for the ports getting around. It's really helpful. So I'm running to Kaladin right now, and I will pick up when I get back to that forge. Okay, welcome back. In Kaladin, Everhot Forge. Let's go see Kinlo. There he is. So let's read the dialogue. So, let's see. Ask him about the ancient. So you just say, what ancient? And Kinlo Strongarm says, the ancient smiths, for what I think you're asking about, ain't been around for a long time, laddie. Last anyone heard of one of the ancients was before my time, even. There'd be more than a few tales about him. What tales? There'd be some talk of how the ancient smiths went down to work for the Duke of Brel, saying he be needing some fine dwarven smiths for making some castle or such. There be tales that the ancients were so good at smithing that the duke took 'em down and made 'em headsmiths over his minions. There even be tales that some of the smiths' souls are trapped in their hammers, stuck there by some necromancer or something as punishment or retribution. What hammers? Aye, some say that their souls were bound in their hammers by an erudite necromancer and enchanter. They say they use the power of the hammers to profit by making ships, boats, and houses better than any other merchants. Sad tale if it be true. What erudite necromancer? Kinlo Strongarm says, I'm not known more about the story, lad. Everything I know has already been said. Erudites, I suppose. If you wanted to run after short-beard tales, you can look over that plague island they called Otis. So, that's Jael the Wretched. That's why you go to him. And now you give the hammer to Kinlo. So, let's give the hammer to him. And I got a small bit of mithril ore. Kinlo Strongarm looks at the hammer and nods once before slamming his head against the anvil and shattering the head, and a cloud of dust. Another dwarf appears from the cloud and tosses you a hunk of metal. Kinlo stares in awe. He'll ooze back the old. It took you long enough. You think you get an orc head upon them shoulders there. I'm owing you for the help, though. Else I would have been in that damn hammer for ages. You said you had an ancient blade or something? So let me see it. So give the ancient longsword. And refined ancient longsword. And he just disappears. Uzbek the Old admires the blade, then starts to bang the edge with the hammer. That was a good blade, no doubt. Ain't seen one I couldn't make better, though. I'm knowing your cause, and all I know is you should take the ancient blade back to your friend in the woods. He'll know what to do now. With that, I'm going to be taking my leave, debt paid and all. If you want another blade, which you do, you got to get enough ore that Kinlo can do for you. So I think now you give the ore to him. And he gives you a refined mithril blade. Not bad. Well, I ain't ever worked with this stuff, but here's what I got for you. It ain't bad. Pretty much like the one you got there. I suppose you should take the one the ancient made and show it to your friend. Okay, so I am going to run back now to Burning Woods, and that will be Swiftwind, from my understanding. So I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Getting to port. Going to Skyfire, and I'll be right there with Talon Darkforest. Thank you so much, Kaizen. I'll be right back when I get to him. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Now to get Swiftwind. So I think you take the refined ancient sword. Let me just make sure. It is... yeah. Refined ancient sword. And it gives you it back. And it spawns Phelan. Now that's fine work, Redorian. Just a moment. We have a friend here who can enchant one of the blades. Give her the blade, the ancient smith. That's it. That's Swiftwind. Phelan smiles at you and then closes her eyes as she sets Gem, nature's balance, into the crossguard and begins to channel her spirit into the sword. The ground rumbles slowly as she casts. She collapses in exhaustion after a short time. Take the blade, and perhaps you can finish this. You must strike at the heart of Inruk's lair. Bring a shattered gem and the mithril blade to Zanusis. Only by weakening Inruk's grip over his realm can you rebalance the land once again and be restored. If we do not meet again, Redorian, remember, you will always have my eternal thanks. And that's Swiftwind. That's half of the Ranger epic. Amazing. 30 attack, 40 haste. Let's put this baby on. Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. Holy smokes. Yeah, okay, so the only other part is Earthcaller. That's the next part of the Ranger Epic. So with that, I have to go to Plane of Hate and just kill the minis, and one of them eventually drop a Shattered Emerald of Corruption. And then all I gotta do is find Xenusis in North Carana and give him, and I can basically MQ that emerald with the blade, and I'm done. That'll be the second part of the epic. So that episode might be a while out, the actual hate raid, as well as I'm gonna try to put in a sky raid, just sort of as a forbearance, or just to go backwards in time to show where to get that swirling sphere of color. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.